How would you feel after solving a Sudoku puzzle that was harder than any that you've tried before? I will show you powerful strategies you can use to master even the toughest Sudoku puzzles. Click below if you want to give this puzzle a go. And with that, it's solving time. Where can a 2 go here in row 1? Can't be here or here because of this 2. Can't be here because of this 2, and it cannot be here because of this 2. The only place a 2 can go in row 1. And if you look in column 1, a 2 can't go here because of that 2. Can't go here because of that 2, and it can't go here because of this 2. So we can put a 2 there in block 4. And then with these 4 2s all looking into block 5, you can solve a 2 right here. Greetings, friend. This is When It Rains by Sulfur. New to this channel, I've seen a few of Sulfur's classics on Unshack and Sudoku. Very impressed. Thank you so much, Sulfur, for this wonderful puzzle. I'm going to show you some powerful strategies you can use to solve this and other very hard Sudokus. First, you need to find restrictions using Snyder notation. We'll start with the ones. With these 2 ones, we can put Snyder ones here in block 5. So anytime in a 3x3 block, 2 possibilities for can't. We mark it. In case we solve one of these cells, you can solve the other right away. We're going to use this to find other restrictions and relations between these marks. With the 2s, we actually solve some 2s here, but with these 3 2s, that's Snyder 2s in block 3. And then with these 2s and this 2, Snyder 2s in block 7. You look at the 3s, with these 2 3s, we can put Snyder 3s in block 6. And then with this 3 and this 3, Snyder 3s in block 8. How about the 4s? This 4 cutting across, only 2 possibilities for 4 in block 2. I'll mark those. Moving on to the 5s. With these 2 5s, Snyder 5s right there. Not a lot of marks, but we are getting a little bit more idea of where the restrictions lie in this puzzle. Again, we're going to need some advanced strategies if you want to solve this. I'll walk you all the way through it. 6 is the 6. You have Snyder 6s in block 4. 7s right here, Snyder 7s, block 5. And the 8s, you're going to get some solving in. Maybe you solved this already. With these 2 8s, you can solve for an 8 right there in block 4. And then with this 8, you can solve for an 8 in block 7. Nice. And then with this 8, the 8 coming down column 4, we have a pointing pair of 8s. Okay, with a pointing pair, since the 8s have to be somewhere here in block 8 and they're restricted to row 9, and 8 not be anywhere else in row 9 outside of that block. When you put an 8 over here or here, then you have no place to put an 8 in block 8. And so that's a pointing pair. Restricts the 8s to these 2 cells now in block 9. Okay, we're getting to the 9s now. Well, with these 9s, we can actually solve for a 9 in block 1. Nice. And then the 9s in block 3. Only 2 possibilities. We'll mark Snyder 9s there. And then in block 5. With these 2 9s, Snyder 9s right there. And you can go back through the puzzle and look for more Snyder marks. You're not going to find any. There's no more easy solves at this point. And so when you're solving hard Sudoku, the next step is you have 2 options. You can either look at all the single candidate strategies, try to find the X-wings, skyscrapers, X-chains, or you can start looking at Bivalue cells to find more restrictions. And there's many strategies that go along with that. I'm going to tell you this is a very hard Sudoku. You're going to need to look at both, actually, to find the winning strategies to unlock this puzzle. I want you to know you may be able to solve hard Sudokus like this sooner than you think. I offer monthly reward puzzle packs featuring hard strategies. What this means to you is you get to learn and practice new techniques in a fun way. These packs are themed, and I give you a tutorial on how to find the strategies. Join the Smarty Party like my new members, Ross Walker, Keith Gunn, and Lone Monad, and I'll send you my monthly puzzle packs. If you solve them and give me the correct solution, I'll give you a video shout out. Like in this video for Yoshi Broshi, Paula Phoebe, Carol Emmerich, and Aaron Wells. They all solved my June reward pack. Click on the pinned comment below to join the Smarty Party today. I'm going to start with the BVCs to give a better idea where more restrictions are. You'll notice in column 1, you got a 4, 6, 7. There's a 4 right here. That's going to be a 6-7 BVC. Look across row 1. You only are missing again, a 4, 6, 7. You know that's going to be a 6, 7. And with the 7, this is going to be a 4, 6. You look in here, you got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, all looking in this cell. That's a 6, 8. Right here, you got a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's going to be a 1 or a 2. Come down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. That's a 7, 9. Mainly, you're going to look in these rows, columns, blocks that have 5 or more cells filled out, and then scan to see if there's other digits looking into that cell. Okay, come down here, and you notice you got a 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all looking here. So this is a 2, 3. This cell is actually pretty important. I'll tell you and show you in a little bit why that is. Over here, you got 3, 4, 6, 7, 2, 8, and 9. So that's going to be a 1 or a 5. This, now you have a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's going to be a 1 or a 2. Right here, that's going to be a 4 or a 7. And in this cell, you can probably see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So that's going to be a 5 or a 9. One last cell here. That's going to be a BVC. You got a 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's going to be a 4 or a 9. These are all the BVC cells you can find at this point in the puzzle. Now you want to see, is there a relation or connection between them? I want you to look at these 4 cells right here. There's something very interesting going on here. You look at this cell and go, okay, this is either going to be a 4 or 9. Remember, BVCs are a form of a conjugate pair. You know, if either this cell is a 4, if it's not a 4, it's a 9. So the 4 and 9 are a pair, conjugate pair. So it's got to be one or the other has to be true. So if this is a 4, any cell that sees this would not be a 4. So like that cell right there cannot contain a 4, right? If it's not a 4, this cell happens to be a 9, which forces this cell to be a 7, this cell to be a 6, and this cell to be a 4. So no matter what the value is, one of these blue cells has to contain a 4. All right, that means we can eliminate a 4 from any cell that sees one of these blue cells. You're like, Timberlake, how'd you do that? Well, I use it called an XY chain. 4 to the 9, 9 to the 7, 7 to the 6, 6 to the 4. You start with the 4, end with the 4. We can eliminate a 4 from any cell that sees the blue. This is the first advanced strategy you gotta find if you want to unlock some more solves. And it's only going to unlock some more solves. You need more strategies in this puzzle. But this is beautiful, because what this does is it means this cell right here can never be a 4, right? If you put a 4 right there, you end up with a 9 here, 6 there, you'd have a 7 there, and you'd have a 7 here. You have 2 7s in column 7. That can't work. Since you eliminate the 1, 4 in block 2, we know you can immediately solve the other right away for a 4. If you want to learn more about XY change, you can check out this tutorial. What this does is going to allow you to unlock some more cells. Since now you only have 2 cells remaining in row 1, that's going to be a 6, 7. So you got a nice 6, 7 pair right here, which means this can't be a 6 anymore. It's going to have to be a 4, displacing that Snyder 6. And we have a 3, 7 pair remaining in block 4. So let's remove these colors. And let's see what other solving we can do here. You end up in here is going to be a 1, 3, 4 naked triple, right? Because you now have a 6, 7 pair. And since you already have a 4 right there, we can eliminate that as a 4. Since you have a 3, 7, naked pairs act as pointing pairs. This can't be a 3. And so you have 3s here, and you have 4s there. We're going to do some marking. We're going to do some more solving. Because now we're going to 4B here in block 5. Can't be here, and it can't be here or here. So this BVC, we're actually going to be able to solve for a 4. Displacing that Snyder 9 allows us to solve another BVC for a 5. So you're going to get some confidence here. We're going to be able to get a couple more solves. With these 4s, you can solve this for a 4. We're going to get to a point, though, that you're going to get stuck again. And hopefully I'm not giving you bad news. I just want you to know this is a very hard puzzle. But I'm going to help you look and see what you can do to keep solving it. With these 4s, you can put Snyder 4s right there in block 9. And then with the 6, you'll notice we put the 3, 7 there. So now you have Snyder 7s in block 7. And then with the 5, since we were able to mark a 5 here, with this 5, we have some Snyder 5s in block 5. With this 5 and this 5, Snyder 5s in block 6. And with this 5 and this 5, Snyder 5s in block 2. Okay, with the 2 6s that you have now in rows 5 and 6, we have Snyder 6s right there. And this is an interesting pattern. You see how it's a 1, 5, 6, 7, and they're all in 4 different cells. These are all BVCs. I could mark them as BVCs. I don't need to because I already have the Snyder marks there. Just whenever you see something like that, realize that you have basically 4 bi-value cells here in the block. And then with the 9s, you saw these 2 9s. So we got Snyder 9s in block 6. And with these 2 9s, Snyder 9s in block 9. Lots of marks, lots of restrictions. Where do you go again? Because right now you probably got stuck. Because you're going to get stuck unless you use another strategy here. This time, we need to look at the single candidate strategies. And the way you do that is you click on the 1s and find where the 1s could be. And you click on the 2s, find where the 2s could be, and look for those single candidate strategies. You'll notice we have quite a few 2s filled out, not enough to do anything with. But what's of interest to me was the 3s. Let's see where all the 3s could be at this point in the puzzle. And so I'm going to mark the 3s. It helps when you have Snyder marks already in there. And then we're going to color the 3s, single candidate, so I'm going to use that. What's interesting is not only do you have quite a few Snyder marks, like right here, 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 and here, but you have a lot of conjugate pairs outside the blocks. And so I told you, conjugate pair, either one's true or it's the other. So these 3s are a conjugate pair inside the block with a 7, but outside the block with this other 3. But you'll notice that this 3 is a conjugate pair with this 3. All that means is if either this is a 3, if it's not, that has to be a 3. Same here. Either this is a 3, not that has to be a 3. This is the powerful connection you need to make to find the next strategy that's going to unlock some more cells. We want to look down here in rows 7, 8, and 9. Everything you need to make more progress is down here. You notice we have a conjugate pair of 3s in these 2 blue cells. Either this is a 3, that's not a 3, that has to be a 3. And so I'm using a term, I'm going to start using it more in my videos, called one-step restriction. What it means is if you can make one more elimination, one more solve, you're going to be able to unlock and solve the cells. In this case, if we can eliminate one of these as a 3, you're going to be able to solve for 3. Can we do that? And the key here is to actually look at this cell right here, the 2, 3 bi-value cell. It only has 2 possibilities. Either it's a 2 or it's a 3. If it was a 3, very simply, if that's a 3, this cell here cannot be a 3. That's pretty easy to see. Now, if it's a 2, what happens? Well, this 2 affects this 2 right here, so that can't be a 2. Displacing that Snyder 2, and you have a 2 right here. I mean, this would actually be a 1. This would be a 2. Displace that Snyder 7, and then you'll notice that where can a 4 be? Well, if it's not there anymore, it can't be here because of this 4, and it can't be here because of this 4. This cell ends up being a 4. And so our blue cell here, if this is a 3, can't be a 3. If it's a 2, it also cannot be a 3 because it has to be a 4. And so what we know is we can eliminate this as a possibility of 3. There's no way that this can ever be a 3. And I'm sure you're looking at me and going, Timberlake, you just bifurcated. You just said, what if it's this or what if it's that? Actually, what I use is a strategy called a discontinuous loop. I looked here and I said, okay, this 2, this 3 has strong link with the 2, weak to this 2, strong to this 2, weak to the 7, strong to 7, weak to the 4, strong to this 4, weak to the 3 inside here, and weak to the 3 back here. Weak links. And talking about the terms and weak links is a little harder to understand, so I just kind of show you the what if both ways, showing there's no way this can be a 3. And if you want to learn more about discontinuous loops, you can check out this tutorial. But tips like this, I usually get people to give me coffees because they really appreciate the value I'm giving them, just like Mark Chambers, who bought me a coffee this month. I do appreciate that. What we can do is remove this as a 3, and there's only one place to put a 3 now in row 7. So that has to be a 3. And we're going to remove the colors here to kind of just help me show where the next place I can solve a 3 is. We know this is the only colored cell in column 4, so we can solve that for a 3. That's going to end up being a 1, and that's going to be a 3. So we can get rid of the color there, and we can get rid of these colors. So all those can't be 3s anymore. So we were able to make all these solves using this discontinuous loop. Are we done with these advanced strategies? Don't know. We're going to unlock some more solves here. You got to keep watching to see what we can do now that we found that discontinuous loop. Okay, so we got the 3s. Now we can notice up here, 3, 1, there's only one cell remaining of the 3, 1, 4. That's got to be a 4. And now with this 4, you'll notice they have a 3, 7 here. This can only be a 1, 5. 4s are limited to the same cells as the 7s. So you see the Snyder on top of each other, 4, 7, 4, 7. This has to be a 4, 7 hidden pair. And since that 2 is marked there, we know this can't be a 2 anymore. Just got to go right there. So that's a bonus tip about Snyder on top of each other, which puts a 2 right there, which means we can solve this cell now for a 3. Displacing that Snyder 3. Solve this for a 3, displacing that Snyder 5, which we can displace this Snyder 5. Solve this cell for a 5, displacing the Snyder 7, displacing the Snyder 1, displacing that Snyder 6. Awesome. There's only one 5 left up here in block 2. What you want to do now to get to the next strategy is you want to reduce and release as much clutter as possible. If we can solve some of these by-value cells, it just makes an easier grid to look at. But like with this 7, you know this cell has to be a 9. And then with these 2 1s, that's going to be your 1, and this is going to end up being a 7. All right, looking good. So what else can we do here? Well, you'll notice that we displace a 9 down here, so that's got to be a 9, displacing that Snyder 8. You look up here, we need a 6 or an 8. I just solved an 8. So that's got to be your 8. That's going to be your 6, allowing you to solve this for a 6, disambiguating the 7, 6, 7 up here in block 1. Awesome. All right, making some great solves here. What can we do? With this 7, that's got to be a 3. That's got to be a 7. Sweep out these blocks. So far, we're looking really, really good. Okay. You look down here, looks like we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9. We need a 5 and an 8. I got my 8 there, so that's got to be your 8, and that's got to be your 5. We can disambiguate the 1, 5 right there, looking good. And then with these 2 1s, we know we can solve this for a 1, and the only cell remaining in block 8 is a 6. All right, go across here, got a full house, 8 digits filled out. We know that can't be an 8. It's got to be another 6. Great. And then with this one and these 2 1s, this has to be the 1 displacing that Snyder 2. And then with these 2s and this 2, so this for 2 displacing that Snyder 4, disambiguating the 7, 4 hidden pair that we found earlier. With these 2 7s, it's always easier to kind of look at a digit you just solved and see where it goes in the adjoining block. That's got to be a 7. I don't see a 9 in block 9. We can displace that Snyder 9, knowing we can solve this cell for 9 with certainty. Our last digit is an 8. So see if you can spot the advanced strategy needed in this next video. Thank you so much for watching.